of Ukraine claims 2 lives in Donetsk. Good evening. Thank you for joining us on the news tonight. My name is Timile Faladi. The state government has placed the sum of 50,000 naira as reward for anyone who exposes or reports incidents leading to the arrest of kidnappers or other criminals in the state. Briefing newsmen shortly after the weekly State Executive Council meeting, the Commissioner for Information and Orientation, Mrs. Bamidele Ademola Olateju, said the development was to further encourage citizens to give useful and timely information about criminal activities in any part of the state. The Commissioner also added that the Council acknowledged the appreciation and commendation from the residents, which followed the good initiative of the government to have a toll-free line. The toll-free line is 0800 555 555. Anybody can call to give security tips and report any criminal activities in his or her area. She called for timely reportage of criminal activities, saying government would protect anybody who reports or gives useful information about criminal activities in his area.
From now on, from today, we will have the message out that anyone who reports a crime and we follow the law and it leads to a successful prosecution of the criminal, that person will be offered a reward of 50,000 naira. We want people in those states to say something when they see something. We want our people to be proactive in the areas of security, to rid those states of criminals, bandits, and terrorists.
Commissioner for Information and Orientation, Mrs. Bamidele Ademola Olateju, speaking there. Wife of Ondo State Governor Betty Anyanwu has reiterated her commitment to continue to give girl child sense of belonging in society. While appearing on popular Osrc youth program Roundtable at the station's headquarters, Orita Obele, Akure, the state capital, the governor's wife maintained that she is passionate about them because she knows how it feels growing in a village. Government House correspondent Omorin Olakungbeji has details.
Since the inception of this present administration in Ondo State, various initiatives have been introduced by the wife of the governor, Mrs. Betty Anyanwu, to support her husband in the quest to give governance a brand new meaning. One of the life-transforming programs is the Be More initiative, which has trained no fewer than 2,000 girls on different skills including solar technology, engineering, mathematics, and entrepreneurship. Featuring on Osrc program Roundtable, Mrs. Anyanwu observed that her words and ideas are influential by virtue of her position in society, saying the influence has translated to huge success in many areas. According to her, she is more passionate about giving the less privileged sense of dignity, and that informed the specialization to girls from indigent background and the Be More initiative empowerment.
These technologies, they are gender neutral. You can be in your house, in your bedroom, or in one corner of your room and make all your millions. You can code, you can do all the social marketing and everything. And when you're providing such services, nobody asks you whether you're a man or a woman. And that was why I knew that this is the entry point for our girls to excel in this digital technology. And I chose those two very important areas, ICT, solar technology.
She explained that growing up in the village accorded her the chance to know what poverty means, saying the experience is now spurring her to bridge the gap between the rich and the poor whenever the opportunity is available. Mrs. Akeredolu, who cleared air on the assumption that the initiative is funded by governments, insisted that Be More initiative is raising funds as an NGO so that participants are equipped with adequate tools after training. Some of the beneficiaries of the initiative present at the program gave their testimonies, praising the governor's wife for the opportunity.
At the end of 2021, some other girls and I, ambassadors of BIMO, decided to have an ICT training outside the camp. We had web designing classes and graphic designing classes, and it was for free. We had it again April this year. So it's a form of giving back to the society.
Currently, I'm studying computer engineering in the University of Lagos. For my 300 level project, I had to build an AC power generator.
Wow, you did? Great.
And I actively contributed because these were equipment that I've already worked with at the camp.
I came back again as an ambassador 2019. We were trained on entrepreneurship, production of reusable sanitary pads, which I picked interest in the reusable sanitary pads. And after the camp, I've trained over 100 girls in my own local government.
We have a variety of skills which each girl chooses from. So it's like a buffet. So you just pick one skill, master it, because you have a short window and you have to learn something, you have to master that thing, you have to take it out there and you have to impact.
The matrons, their duty is to take charge and take care of these girls emotionally, health-wise and otherwise. The matrons keep tab on all the activities in the camp to monitor these girls.
We have a large collection of drugs and all the medical facilities that we need on camp. And we also have a standby ambulance in case we have any emergency.
The live interactive media engagement lasted for 1.5 hours. Omoniola Hungiji, Osrc News.
Meanwhile, the governor's wife, Mrs. Betty Anyawakredolu, has commended the management of Osrc Media Group for its people-oriented program. Mrs. Anyawakredolu, during an interview at Osrc Television Complex in Akure, the state capital, commended the standard of the roundtable session. Again, Government House correspondent Omoniola Hungiji reports that the governor's wife also presented the Mothro Pillow to the Osrc Media Group chairman, Mr. Kunle Adebayo.
The management of Osrc Media Group initiated an interface platform, the Roundtable, to spotlight activities of government and other initiatives geared towards impacting citizens of Ondo State and Nigerians generally. The latest dignitary to feature on the program is the wife of Ondo State Governor, Mrs. Betty Anyawakredolu, broadening conversation on the impacts of BIMO initiative and empowerment program for the girl child. Mrs. Anyawakredolu said the Roundtable is a unique program with professional mode of questioning. The governor's wife acknowledged efforts of the Osrc Media Group at meeting the information needs of citizens.
This is my first time, and the coverage was good. The questions asked were fine, and I hope I did justice to them. And well, I looked around. I know that there is a lot of work to be done. I have to be very frank with you. You know, things could be fixed, and to make this place more enabling.
Mrs. Anyawakredolu presented Propilo to the chairman of the media group, Mr. Kunle Adebayo. The Roundtable is a current affairs program of Osrc Media Group, which has as its core mandate bringing leaders closer to the people through uncensored interface via the free channels of the group. Omoniola Hungiji, Osrc News.
You're still on to Osrc News at 7. We'll take a quick break. Do stay with us.
Presents hopes, dreams, and challenges. Challenges that can become successes with a little help. Because a little help can empower you to go from despair to celebration. A little help can keep you going until the race is won. A little help can turn bundles of anxiety into a bundle of joy. And with Glow Data, you get much more than just a little help. You get the biggest data deals in town to make every day glow with small wins and big wins. Dial *777# to select your Glow Data plan.
Glad to have you back. You can watch us live on our website www.osrc.ng or follow us on Facebook, Osrc TV Ondo, and on YouTube you can subscribe to our channel, Osrc TV Ondo. Now to political matters. Presidential candidate of the All Progressives Congress APC, Bola Tinubu, has met with former President Olusegun Obasanjo behind closed doors in Abeokuta, the Ogun State capital. Details of the meeting are yet to be made known, but sources say it is not unconnected with the 2023 general elections and Tinubu's ambition to emerge president. On this visit, Tinubu was accompanied by the Speaker of the Federal House of Representatives, Mr. Femi Gbajabiamila, first interim chairman of the All Progressives Congress, Chief Bisi Akande, Governor of Ogun State, Dapo Abiodun, former governors Olusegun Oshoba, Gbenga Daniel, among other dignitaries. The trip to Abeokuta comes a few days after President Muhammadu Buhari received Tinubu and his running mate Kashim Shettima at the State House in Abuja. The duo were accompanied by the APC chairman Abdullahi Adamu and Plateau State Governor Simon Lalong. In the meantime, Labour Party presidential candidate Peter Obi has assured Afrobeat musician Femi Kuti that his obedience movement will base its campaign on issues rather than personality attacks. He said this campaign would be based on everyday issues affecting Nigerians and Nigeria, adding that the recent controversy was not what the movement and his ambition stand for. The former Anambra governor gave the assurance when he visited the musician. While the detail of the visit is unknown, it may not be unconnected to the recent online squabble between the veteran musician and Obi's supporters. The political upheaval of 1983, especially in Akure, the Ondo State capital, must have come and gone. Echoes from the day after 39 years still reverberate. Rather than mourning the August 16th event, which claimed the lives of quality indigents, Akure is now looking up to God to cleanse the land. The program, Global Prayers in the Land, which was organized by the Deji Oba Alade Toyinbo Alade Lucy, has as its theme, Embargoes Must Be Lifted. Joy Pius reports that religious leaders, traditional rulers, top government functionaries, as well as indigents of Akure took part in the intercession to cleanse Akure land.
In 1983, about 39 years ago, a political riot broke out in Akure which claimed the lives of many indigents, creating palpable fear that has outlived several political dispensations in Ondo State. Also last year, on the same day that 1983 event happened, another top-class politician and prominent son of Akure, Adedayo Omolafe Expensive, died. Hence, August 16 every year was set aside in remembrance of the day. However, rather than maintaining mourning the incidents of 39 years ago, the Deji Oba Alade Toyinbo Alade Lucy decided to set the stage for the healing process in Akure, with the day transformed to Akure Day of Global Prayer, which was attended by Christian leaders, traditional rulers, top government functionaries, as well as indigents of Akure. The Deji Oba Alade Toyinbo Alade Lucy, while addressing the gathering, recalled the ugly incidents of August 16, 1983, which he said was a major setback for Akure. He said the essence of the program is to pray for deliverance from the effects of the 1983 incident, declaring 16th August every year a prayer and thanksgiving day for the people of Akure.
What happened 39 years ago? We just thought about it that this town need a solid prayer so that all our sin that we should ask for forgiveness of all our sin.
In his sermon titled "The Embargoes Must Be Lifted," the regional pastor, Redeemed Christian Church of God, Region 22, Pastor Francis Oluwalade, stated that the 1983 crisis have caused lots of hindrances for the people of Akure, harping on prayers as the way out of a challenge, adding that light has surfaced with the emergence of the program.
One thing I know, because WC taking over fits to all this gathering. Today, God is a not man. We lay for us a new foundation in Akure Kingdom.
Several prayers were said for the land of Akure, ranging from prayer for forgiveness and mercy, prayer for restoration, and prayers for the families of victims of 1983 killings, and lots more. Attendees are optimistic that the prayers will yield results for Akure and its indigents.
We prayed and God has answered our prayer over Akure land. And I am too sure that we are going to be seeing progress. We are going to be seeing signs and wonders here in Akure.
A Thanksgiving session climaxed the event for prayers answered, while indigents bask in the hope of a new beginning for the land. Joy Pius, Osrc News.
A mentally deranged man identified as Alaba Ayoyenikon has regained his sanity following a spiritual encounter. The miraculous event took place at Sabo around Old Garage of Akure. Again, Joy Pius reports.
Mentally deranged for over 10 years, Alaba Ayoyenikon roamed the streets of Akure. For over 1 decade, with no roof over his head, this garbage site became his abode. His divine encounter finally came when he was located by an evangelist in Akure. According to eyewitnesses, after prayers were said by the evangelist, Ayoyenikon regained consciousness to the astonishment of all.
Iṣẹ́ àmì àti iṣẹ́ ìyanu tó ṣẹlẹ̀ lára ọkùnrin kò sẹ́ni tí ò mọ ọkùnrin lórí tá ń bẹ̀ yẹn tá a sùn síbẹ̀ òjò ń rọ̀ ni o oòrùn ń ràn ni o a máa pa ń bẹ̀ já ni.
Kò níbi tó lọ kò sí kankan àánú ẹ̀gbọ́n máa ń ṣe ní pé ṣé èèyàn ni ọkùnrin náà ṣùgbọ́n lẹ́yìn ó wá jẹ́ ìyanu pé Ọlọ́run wò sàn fún wa.
The hitherto deranged man was ushered into this shed where his overgrown hair was shaved. Mr. Chris Enahoro, the evangelist, sheds light on the encounter.
It is the Lord's doing. Jesus will heal them.
Mr. Ayoyenikon, a graduate of Federal University of Technology, Akure, who hails from Igbotako in Okitipupa local government area of Ondo State, expressed mixed feelings. Having regained his true identity, a new face is now opened for the man who the heavens smiled upon. Joy Pius, Osrc News.
We'll take another break on the news tonight. Do stay with us.
Hey, this kid, how are you doing? Farabale. 1,000. We go once play tire. Farabale now.
Madam, hello lówó wa.
Brother, na 3,005.
Màá fún yín ní owó pé káàdì Glo ẹlẹ́gbẹ̀rún 10,000.
Ó yá.
Bring your phone.
Ha! 10,000.
1,000 naira credit. Now you turn to 10,000.
No. All of us don't know about Glo Berekete. Ní ìlọ́po mẹ́wàá nísìnyí.
Ṣé o ti gbọ́? Ìlọ́po mẹ́wàá ló máa gbà lórí iyekíye tó o bá rà sórí ohun ìpè Glo Berekete 10 times rẹ.
I told you. Na what go tell?
You're welcome back. Ondo State Government has begun registration of motorcycle riders in our local government area. The commencement of the exercise, according to the Senior Special Assistant to the Governor on Special Duties and Strategy, Dr. Donyo Debowale, is in furtherance of government's resolve to leave nothing to chance in securing lives and property in the state. OSRC's Sahid Aribisala reports that the governor's special task force is bracing up to enforce compliance in the area.
The use of motorcycle as a public means of transportation, like in other cities, is popular in our local government area of Ondo State, but findings show that a large number of the motorcycles in the local government area are without number plates, with their riders without any means of identification. While Ondo State government continues the registration of motorcycle riders in Akure, the state capital, same exercise is now being replicated in Owo. The governor's special task force was out to galvanize the riders to register themselves and their motorcycle with the officers of the Ondo State Internal Revenue Service and State Information Technology Agency stationed at Makpo Hall. The secretary to our local government, Mr. Taye Adako, and other residents lauded the initiative.
This is going to be very beneficial for us because by so that we will hold anybody accountable for any lawlessness or whatever shades or forms. We will be able to identify, pinpoint that this is who is this person. We can better, coordinate well and regularize the activities.
I get very benefits now, so I can move anywhere to work for town.
I heard that some of the motorcyclists, the Okada operators, they used to rob, they used to kidnap people, they used to do all sorts of things. But I believe by the time we have this uniform and every one of us put it on, then they will know the person that is registered. And whenever any such thing comes on, then they will see that maybe they will chase the motorcycle, they will discover that they have a registration number at the back of his shirt. If it don't have, then they will know that this one is not an Okada rider.
It's the necessary something. So it's because of kidnappers and those people collecting our motorcycle. Some people will come from another way using bike, motorcycle, robbing, do many committing crimes. So, and I think that this is the best something that those criminals can be identified.
The Senior Special Assistant to the Governor on Special Duties and Strategies, Dr. Donyo Debowale, said securing lives and property remains paramount to government and failure to comply will attract sanctions.
Those who claim to be riding motorcycle are not licensed to do so, that we don't know them, that the motorcycles they take about is not, they are not registered. I think it is very, very sad indeed, and we are not going to allow it. I'm going to brief the governor now, because what we need in our war will be a major operation. We are going to clamp down on all of them. We impound any motorcycle without number plate will be impounded.
The registration exercise captures the face and other biometrics of riders, national identification number of the riders, and motorcycle number plates. Sahid Aribisala, OSRC News.
President Muhammadu Buhari has sworn in newly appointed chairman of the Revenue Mobilization Allocation and Fiscal Commission, Mohammed Bello Shehu. The new chairman was administered an oath in the council chamber of the State House in Abuja just before the president presided over the weekly Federal Executive Council meeting. After a brief ceremony, Alhaji Mohammed Bello Shehu told State House correspondents that although the task ahead of him is daunting, he is certain that the Commission will assist the Buhari administration to block leakages, generate more revenue for the Federation, and implement its constitutional responsibility. Those physically in attendance at the Federal Executive Council meeting included Secretary to the Government of the Federation, Boss Mustafa, Chief of Staff to the President, Ibrahim Gambari, National Security Advisor, Babagana Moguno, as well as some ministers. The Vice President, Professor Yemi Osinbajo, joined virtually just as the head of the service of the Federation, Mrs. Folashade Yemi, and some other ministers. Fire today gutted a part of a shopping complex on Ligali Ayoride Street in the Victoria Island area of Lagos State. It was gathered that the inferno started in the early hours of today in one of the shops where combustible items such as tires and car batteries were stored. The Southwest Coordinator, National Emergency Management Agency, Mr. Ibrahim Fariloye, confirmed the incident. He said the fire was brought under control after officials of the state and federal fire services battled to put it out. The cause of the inferno, which lasted 4 hours before it was contained, is yet to be ascertained. The incident caused gridlock in the area as passengers, residents, and passers-by scampered to safety. Divisional Police Officer of Nasarawa Station in Kano State, Daniel Ama, has been rewarded for rejecting a $200,000 bribe in a case of alleged armed robbery. Ama, a superintendent of police, got a commendation from the Inspector General of Police, Usman Baba, for exhibiting sound professionalism. The IGP, in a letter of commendation to Ama, noted that the professional attitude displayed by the DPO led to the arrest of a suspected armed robbery syndicate in Kano. Force Relations of Public Officer, who disclosed the IGP's commendation in a statement, said the case has been transferred to Abuja for discreet investigation. Now moving to the foreign scene, 2 civilians have been killed and 7 wounded in shelling by Russian forces in the last 24 hours in the Donetsk region, according to Governor Pavlo Krylenko. The deaths were reported in Avdiivka and in Zaitsev. The Washington, D.C.-based Institute for the Study of War has said Russia has launched offensive operations around Bakhmut, southwest of Avdiivka and southwest of Donetsk city in the Donetsk region in recent days. Now to end Osrc News at 7, here again are the major stories. The Ondo State government has placed the sum of 50,000 naira as reward for anyone who exposes or reports incidents leading to the arrests of kidnappers and other criminals of the state. Indigenes of Akure, the Ondo State capital, have called on God to cleanse the land of evil occurrences. The setting was the special prayer event Akure Praise, organized by the JG Oba Alade Toyibo Alade Lucy. And we told you that the Inspector General of Police Usman Alkali Baba has reconciled the Divisional Police Officer of Nasarawa Station in Kano State, Daniel Ama, for rejecting a $2,000 bribe in a case of alleged armed robbery. That's Osrc News at 7. Thank you for watching. Good night.